A rousing start to the season, more on that in a bit, but our Champions League group stage fixtures have been released. And welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday morning. It is episode number 85 of Bottom to the Top. I am Mr. Cellophane. We will get to what's happening in the league in just a little bit because we do have at least one more league match plus a transfer deadline day to cover before we get into today's matches. But the UEFA Champions League fixtures have been revealed. And when I took a look at this list, I just kind of skimmed through it and I was like, not bad, because I noticed we're starting off against Hungarian side Ferencváros, and then we've got young boys out of Switzerland, and I'm like, all right, we can make some hay. And then I saw Napoli and Barcelona and Atletico Madrid and realized that we are taking on 3 of the top 15 clubs in the world. But then I need to remember, we were the 4th best club in England last year. We very well could be the best club in England this year. Still a lot of games to go to determine that. And we have been doing nothing but continue to build for this moment. So we're going to try very hard not to psych ourselves out just yet. As I said, we'll get to the league matches themselves in just a moment. Deadline day has come and gone, and we were honestly very quiet. We front-loaded a lot of our business. We offloaded a lot of players in the month of July, a couple in August as well, and we brought in the guys we really wanted to bring in. So only 2 moves on deadline day. Josh King, who had fallen down to our essentially 4th, maybe 5th choice as a defensive midfielder, has gone out on loan to Watford for the remainder of the season. And Jabari Codrington, still a little bit of potential, but not really a lot. We ended up selling him to Sheffield United for $1.8 million. They immediately stashed him in their U21s, which proves why he was not really a part of our setup for the year. So that brings us to the league. We all know how the first 2 matches of the season went. We followed those up with a 3-0 home victory against Brentford. We absolutely dominated the run of play. 21 shots on goal to 6, 66% possession. Nikolai Rumyantsev making his debut for Fulham, scoring a penalty that he earned in the 38th minute. Additional goals earned by Marco Morales and Jair. Alex Guest picking up the only bookings, so we have been, discipline-wise, a lot better this season as well. A very solid performance across the board. We then took the party on the road to Sheffield United, beat the Blades 4-2. We went out once again to a very comfortable 3-0 lead. Then we started bringing on some guys, getting some minutes in legs of players like Omari Kellyman, Eftisos Shokos, Jair again making an appearance, Armand Diaby, who has actually come in off the bench a number of times so far this season. We did let Sheffield back in. They scored 2 goals by Roy Richardson to start off the second half, and then towards the end of regulation time, Troy Parrott brought it within 1 before Kim Young-suk in the 93rd minute put things away. He scored a brace in this match, which saw us winning our first 4 matches of the season and taking a spot at the top of the table, which we unfortunately have ceded to Newcastle United. Trevon Sanusi scoring in the 60th minute, the only shot that was able to make it past a goalkeeper in this match. We did once again have the run of play going our way, 14 shots to 9, 62% possession, completing 91% of our passes, winning 87% of our tackles. So we played very, very well, just unable to find the back of the net. Part of that is Emmanuel Omega, Federico Guerrero, Alfonso Moutinho getting the start on the right-hand side, just not having good matches. Marco Morales with some conditioning issues toward the end. Nikolai Rumyantsev thought he might have an opportunity late on, but unfortunately could not make it happen. 1-0 was your score. So the table, well, it looks like this. Newcastle, Fulham, Man City, all sitting tied on points with 12. We are officially in second place in the Premier League. Obviously, goal difference is the difference. Newcastle had a monster win in the first week to give them quite an advantage in that category. But through 5 matches, 4 wins, no draws, 1 loss, +7 on the goal difference. We are in fantastic shape as we get ready to take on Ferencváros in the Champions League, the first Champions League match in the history of Fulham Football Club. Before we get there, though, we were drawn into the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup against Spurs. This match actually happened at home. We did quite a bit of rotating. Kim Seong-il picking up a clean sheet in his Fulham debut. We gave Ivan Fresneda the start. Jair got in there. Armand Diaby as a starter, as well as Afonso Moutinho, Toshimitsu Endo, Emmanuel Omega. Unfortunately, even though we got 5 shots on target, we were not able to put any past Matteo Huselin, who did pick up player of the match. There is no extra time in the Carabao Cup. We went straight to penalties after 90. Federico Guerrero missed the first penalty shot of the shootout. Spurs did get a miss from Doyle as well, but the momentum was completely in their favor, and Spurs moving on to the 4th round after a 5-4 victory on penalties. It could have been worse, though. At least it happened to us against Premier League competition. Arsenal bounced out of the Carabao Cup in the 3rd round. They and Derby each scored 1 in regulation. Obviously, Arsenal with the lion's share of the possession and shots, but it was Derby County coming out in the end, 8-7 on penalties to move on. That loss to Newcastle also ended a 16-match unbeaten streak in the league for Fulham. FYI. Just one major change in the lineup from the Fulham match as we get ready to take on Ferencváros in Hungary in our first Champions League competition, and that is Nikolai Rumyantsev is going to come in and get the start at striker. Emmanuel Omega is going to remain on the bench. We have also brought Jordan Mohammed into the bench, needing a little bit more coverage in the midfield should we deal with any injuries or any fitness issues. We are just a couple of days after a league match. Plus, we do have Leeds in the Premier League coming up in just 3 days, but that means Harvey Vale will slide out of the matchday squad. So we're going to line up like this. It's going to be Nicolas Shavlina in goal with Alex Guest, Marvin Akahoman, Naim, and Couchman as our back 4. Joe Jones at the base of the midfield behind Marco Morales and Kim Young-suk. Toshimitsu Endo. I almost said Endo Toshimitsu, but it's the other way around. He's going to be on the left wing. Federico Guerrero is going to get the start on the right-hand side. And as we talked about, leading the line at striker is going to be Rumyantsev. Hopefully, we can get things off with a nice little bang because our schedule in the Champions League group stage only gets more difficult from here. Of course, it's been a while since we've been in the Champions League, so I kind of forgot you can have 12 players on the bench. So Harvey Vale, you are back in the game day squad, as is Bichi Abu, coming back from an injury. Passed the fitness test, but they said keep an eye on him, so I'm not sure if he's going to see any game time in this match. Ferencváros in the white and green stripes. Fulham in our away pink kits. We are in Budapest, and we are set to go in the Champions League. First highlight is going the way of Ferencváros. Kern with it. Seating position up for Tasende. Into the middle of Bertini. He's got Diogo. Diogo is going to rocket it past Shavlina. And Diogo Jota playing for Ferencváros. Picking up the goal. VAR is going to check, but they are going to say he was, in fact, in an onside position. And a dubious start. Diogo Jota is playing in Hungary. Who would have thought it? I wonder who else we might run into in an odd position. Corner kick, Guerrero sending it in. Gnaim can't get his head on it. It will drop down. Endo heads it in. It looked like it was going to go wide. Endo is Johnny on the spot, far post. Able to put in his first goal of the season. Just 4 minutes later to equalize this one at 1. Give the assist to Gnayem. Endo, what a beautiful delivery. Looking at it on the replay, originally I thought it was just, some kind of like odd deflection, like his head got in the way, but that was most definitely on purpose. 21,522 in attendance. Not the greatest conditions. Gale force winds in this one, and that's what I'm going to say was the reason why Akahomen missed that one so badly. 59 degrees here in Budapest, Hungary. As the ball is knocked about in the midfield, Endo's going to come away with it, moving it to the left side as he takes it just a bit wider. Will he drop it back or will he center it? He is going to square it. He's going to find Nikolai Rumyantsev. Rumyantsev with his 3rd goal in all competitions. And I think that's 3 consecutive goals in 3 consecutive games that Rumyantsev has started. He did make a sub appearance in that Newcastle match, but Rumyantsev is right in front, pokes it past Mikhail to give Fulham the 2-1 lead, and our first lead in European competition in this Journeyman save. Of course, at Fulham, we did pretty well for ourselves at Kasim Pasha. Guerrero winning it back, playing it ahead for Guest. Alex Guest pushing it deep. Rumyantsev dropping it for Morales. And that was an absolute sitter that Morales pulled wide right. 11-1 at your shots on goal. We've only managed, though, to get 3 on target. And we are currently in the top 8, which is not surprising considering we are winning and we are playing one of the lowest ranked teams that we are going to be facing in our 8 games in the Champions League group stage. Like I said, it's only going to get more difficult from here. Rumyantsev losing it to Treffers. Lincoln carrying it forward. Running into a bit of traffic before he drops it back for Giral. Kern in the midfield. Knocked away by Endo. Kim Young-suk will pass it to the right. Guerrero's got it with a little bit of room in front of him. Up the near sideline. Back for Couchman. Kim Young-suk looking to pivot it back to Couchman. Good 1-2. Couchman blocked by Treffers. He will get it back, though, into the middle. Jones over for Marco Morales. Morales will shoot, and he will miss yet again. Let's keep our eye on Marco Morales. I'm not sure he is going to be living up to the hype in this match. That doesn't mean I'm getting down on Marco Morales in general. I'm just saying in the Champions League, in this particular Champions League match, we are not getting the play out of Marco Morales that we need. Looks like the wind held that one up. Gnayem Guest. Touch pass ahead. Morales finds Endo all the way back to Marvin Akahomen. He'll play it once again to Morales. Akahomen looking to find an inroad. We are enjoying quite a bit of the possession in the middle third. Guerrero making the turn to the inside. Morales, nice touch forward. He shoots and he missed it again. 3rd consecutive shot that we have seen in the highlight that Marco Morales has been unable to get on target. I'm just afraid this is not going to be his match. So as we approach the 60-minute mark, we are probably going to look to make a change. Kim Young-suk dropping it to Couchman along the far sideline. Pass ahead for Guerrero. Escapes from traffic. Rumyantsev with a couple of men on him. Wide right, Couchman. Kim Young-suk back for Couchman. He'll throw it across. Endo is in. Mikhail making a beautiful save. Toshimitsu Endo thought he had a goal. So did we. Federico Guerrero does have a man short, but he's going to send it toward the near post. Can't pick out Gnayem. Diogo Jota will clear it away. Couchman will get it inside the Ferencváros half before play is returned to absolutely nothing. I don't know how to describe it when a highlight just disappears. We are going to give Muhammad the opportunity. Jordan Muhammad, I believe this is going to be his senior debut. Fantastic with the ball. His dribbling, first touch, technique, wonderful. Wish he had a little bit more speed. Hopefully he'll be able to get something done as he makes his way onto the pitch for the first time in Fulham colors in a match that matters. I'm sure he's played in a... What was that? I was about to say, I'm sure he's played in like a preseason game, in a friendly, here or there. Bertini from the set piece, 30 yards out, around the wall. Shavlina, did he not see it? Did the wind hold it up? I don't know what happened, but Ferencváros just equalized. They have scored on 2 of their 3 shots in this match. So we are going to demand more from our team. If we drop points here, that will be incredibly disappointing. We're also going to move up into a more positive mentality. Another thing that we are going to do in a moment after Misael sends it forward. Guerrero heading it to no one, to Sendy back to get it. Giorgini to Sendy. Throwing it up the middle. Akahomen will nod it down to Kim Young-suk. Young-suk throwing it towards Endo. Endo shoots. Rumyantsev in the middle. He is going to score. Rumyantsev. Wait, they're saying he may have been offside. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good goal. I'm wrong. All right, so with that said, we are going to go into the tactics. We're going to actually move Mohamed into more of an advanced playmaker type role because that's kind of more his bread and butter. And hopefully that will make something happen here. Everybody else is playing fairly well. Obviously, Shivlina is not having the greatest match. He hasn't faced a lot of shots, and he's given up a couple, which is super rare. Looks like Toshimitsu Endo is the one who was offside at the end of the day. 25 shots to 3, and still we are not winning. Rumyantsev, Mohamed finding Endo. Back for Guest along the sideline, moving it to the middle. Guest still with it. Kim Young-suk. He's got Guerrero. Back for Couchman, who will carry it deep. Nobody on him. Sent in Edison Jose. Granado and Michael will just clear it out. And Mary, nice bring down, but Couchman will pick his pocket along the far sideline. We've played 85 minutes. Ghanayem with it. He's got a couple of passing options. One of them is Guerrero. He picks that one. Rumyantsev back for Jones. Mohamed throwing it forward. He's got Endo. Endo behind the defense, and Misael gets a piece of it. It'll be out for a corner kick. And I don't know what more Fulham could be doing in this match to win it, but we are tied at 2. I mean, I guess score more. Akahomen tracking down. Mohamed with a shot, and he just misses that far post. And I mean, the run of play has been completely in our favor. XG of 4.07. We really are getting hard done here. Guerrero off of the throwing. Ghanayem across. Alex Guest moving it into the box. Guest will shoot. Ricochet it off of the post, and that will be cleared by Ferencvaros. And I think that is going to be the last opportunity of the match. 29-3, your shots on goal. 9-2, your shots on target, but 2-2, your final score. And that really should have been 3 points. We did manage to get ourselves back on track with a 2-1 win on the road at Elland Road to take on Leeds. They did get things started on a corner kick. Ampadu with his first goal of the season, putting a past Shivlina. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Omega scored his first goal in over 10 hours of play with that penalty. And then late on, coming off of the bench, Marco Morales finds a seam, puts it past Kovar to give Fulham the 2-1 lead and the victory. They did have a chance with a free kick and a corner in the waning moments of the 7th minute of added time, but it was not enough. So that puts us back on the top of the table, 15 points after 6 matches. Now Newcastle and Man City, 3 points behind, each with a game in hand. If Newcastle were to win their next match, obviously they would pull us out of the top spot and back into second place. I think it would take a massive victory of at least 4 goals for Man City to displace us as well. So still in very good position as we get set to head to Switzerland to take on Young Boys. So, of course, Man City and Newcastle both won. So we are back in second place. Our stay at the pinnacle of the Premier League was, once again, pretty short-lived. But we're ready to take on Young Boys, our second of 8 matches in the group phase of the Champions League. Nicholas Shivlina is going to be in goal. It's going to be a back four of Guest, Akahomen, Ghanayem, and Couchman. Jones, Morales, and Kim Young-suk back in the midfield. Toshimitsu Endo on the left wing. Federico Guerrero, well rested. He did not participate in the Leeds match. He's going to be on the right-hand side. And Rumyantsev, once again, back up top. Sure, Omega scored in his last match. Sure, he's got a lot more experience than the 21-year-old Russian, but we like the 21-year-old Russian a little bit better right now. The team is pumped up and raring to go against the 4-2-3-1 of William Jansson's Young Boys squad. Second of 8 Champions League matches guaranteed for us this year. We're hopefully going to make it out of the group stage. It is going to be tough. We've got Barca and Atleti coming up in January, but that's a long ways down the road. In the black and yellow are Young Boys. We are in our white kits with the black sleeves, and hopefully we can get something a little bit done. We come into this match sitting 13th on the league table. Just dropped down to 14th somehow. I guess somebody took a lead. Yes, it was Celtic. But a victory, as things stand right now, could move us way back into the top 8. And that is what we want. Not a ton of activity for either side in the first 25 minutes. A throw-in in the Young Boys third. Endo will drop it back for Guest. The cross for Jones. Akahomen with it now. We'll find Kim Young-suk. He's got a man cutting up the right side. That's Couchman. Couchman throwing in the cross. Rumyantsev hitting the crossbar. That will ricochet into the crowd. But Rumyantsev trying to pick up his second Champions League goal of his very young professional career. And unfortunately, just slightly missing the target. Just about 5-6 minutes remaining. Guerrero throwing it across, looking back post, but Musliha is going to just grab that one out of the air and settle things down for the Swiss side. Played long. Akahomen will knot it down. He's got Kim Young-suk in the center circle. Back for Gnayem. He'll turn, play it to his defensive partner, Marvin Akahomen. Morales has Endo. Heavy touch taken away by Adiabu. Musilia playing it ahead for Birch. Young Boys looking to move it forward. Stolen though by Rumyantsev, and he will take it in and rock it in. His 4th goal in 4 starts. And this young man could be our answer at the striker position. Great pressure on Birch, stealing it away, moving it forward. Musliha trying to backtrack into a better position, is beaten by Rumyantsev, and there is the first goal of the match. 1-0 in favor of Fulham in front of 30,550 fans. 4-3, your shots on goal. We have dominated possession. That makes us happy, and we are going to keep the same 11 out on the pitch for the start of the second half. At Stadion Wankdorf, played ahead. Akahomen will move it forward. Endo for Morales. He'll cede position. Junior League able to knock it away. Ballet, but Endo knocks it to Guest. He's got Rumyantsev, and a rocket just outside of the goal frame. Rumyantsev trying to make it too, but unfortunately could not find the back of the net. 53 minutes played. Guerrero, Akahomen, save made by Musliha. Jones will track it down, knocked away by Ivanez. Jones trying to get it back along the sideline, but Young Boys will regain control at the edge of their own box. Musliha throwing it forward. Ati Abu trying to collect it along the far sideline, cannot control it. It will be a Fulham throw. 9-3, your shots on goal in favor of the Cottagers. Guerrero, Akahomen back for Guerrero off of the long throw-in. He's got Jones at the corner of the box. Akahomen will take over there, carrying it deep. Before he plays it back for Guest, chipped in the middle, looking for Kim Young-suk's not going to find him. The clearance, though, gathered by Joe Jones. Gnayem moving it to his left. He'll shoot, try to curl it in that far corner, and he will miss that by a foot or so wide. We are buzzing. We are only up 1-0. This is starting to look awfully familiar. A match in Europe that we are absolutely dominating, but we just cannot seem to put away. Controlling it in the middle third. Rumyantsev for Guest. Wide to the left. Up ahead. Toshimitsu Endo. We're working out a brand new deal for him. He wanted a new contract. So did Kim Young-suk. They are both in negotiations right now. Guerrero. Wide for Couchman. Into the middle. Rumyantsev knocked down. And you know what? Rumyantsev is going to take that penalty. We're going to make sure that he is going to line up. If we are going to get Rumyantsev to play in such an aggressive manner that he is able to successfully get these calls, then it is only right to let Rumyantsev finish things off as he has a conversation with the referee. The finger's going to go up to the ear. VAR is going to confirm that the penalty is to be awarded, and Rumyantsev is in there to take the penalty. It's going to be a second penalty attempt of the year. This one, though, he cannot put past Musliha. It's going to be knocked out behind for a corner. The chance for the brace denied by the Young Boys goalkeeper. Guerrero in. Nayem knocking it out. Junior League is going to track it down. He's got no help right now as he pushes it further to the left. Morales is on him. Finally finding Lacomi. Pass couldn't get through Guerrero's leg, though, and Kim Young-suk will play it forward. 11-3 are shots on goal. We've had 64% of the possession, yet still just a 1-0 Fulham lead. Federico Guerrero, he'll launch it into the box. Akahomen, good touch, moving it into the middle. Akahomen with a clear shot, but Mishliha sees that one all the way, and he will tip it behind for yet another Fulham corner. Guerrero seems to be taking all of these in. Cannot pick out a man. Guest is going to take out Junior League, and it looks like Guest is not going to be booked for that. That's a bit of a surprise, even though the free kick was awarded to Young Boys. About 15 minutes remaining in this match. Got some tired legs. Endo is going to cede his position to Federico Juarez. Alex Guest will come out. Harvey Vale is going to get his first action in Europe. In fact, his first action of the year. Federico Guerrero will also make way for Afonso Moutinho, who has had a couple of pretty good matches in his last two games, including the one against Leeds just a couple of days ago. We've ticked down into the final 5 minutes of this second half. Fulham in cruise control with the 1-0 lead. Nikolai Rumyantsev's 39th minute goal is the difference. 3 minutes added on by the fourth official will come, and they will go. I don't think Young Boys managed a single shot in that second half. Only a 1-0 victory, but a victory nonetheless. Our first victory in charge of Fulham Football Club in European competition. And the win puts us in 5th in the Champions League table. 2 out of 8 matches played so far for us. There are a handful of teams that are going to be playing in the upcoming days. We have tougher matches, though, on the road ahead. Coming back, Monday's episode, we're taking on Napoli, currently sitting in 12th place. They've only played once, so their position could dramatically change by the time we take them on in just a couple of weeks. And then it is Monaco, currently sitting in 7th. So some very tough teams from some very good leagues. We're taking on Serie A and Ligue 1 competition. Let's see how we match up when we come back. We are going to need to get a little bit better, maybe clamp down and really start taking a stranglehold on some of these league games in order to best prepare us for our tough European competition, which is coming up right here Monday morning. If you have not already done so, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will all weekend long, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time or thereabouts, be on Twitch with our Build a Nation save in Croatia with Vukovar 1991. I hope to see you there. If not, I will see you back here Monday morning bright and early. Until then, bye-bye.